Please note that any comments, jokes, questions, maybe anything that we say on the History of Bad Ideas is all in good fun. And remember, we insult everybody. Our thoughts, opinions, questions, anything else, actions that we do on the show do not reflect any of our employers, organizations, advertisers, or anyone else that is associated with the History of Bad Ideas. And remember, at the end of the day, it's just a joke.
Superman before Zack Snyder ruined him. Michael Keaton was the best Batman, while Christian Bale was just deadpan. No one remembers the other ones. Princess Leia in bikini and Transformer Lamborghinis. Please don't let Shia LaBeouf ever act again.
Please, God, no.
Remembering tales from the crypt, back when Michael Bay wrote good scripts.
He wrote scripts.
All right here is no mystery. It's the history of bad.
It's bad.
It's the history of bad.
So bad.
It's the history of bad ideas. It's the history of bad.
It's bad.
It's the history of bad.
So bad.
It's the history of bad ideas.
Podcast.
Welcome to the History of Bad Ideas, episode 545. I'm Jeff.
I'm Jim. I'm Brian.
I'm Patrick.
And I'm Marlia.
Yay. We've
Bunch
got
of strangers.
guests. I know. Well, they're better than Jason.
True. Yes. Jason's not here this week again.
Again.
My work's taking me out of town.
He could have Skyped in if he really wanted to be here.
Could have. I don't know. That means I would have to learn how to hook Skype up to this thing or something. So,
Well, we can't ask you to do that.
he could have taken this with him, and then we could have Skyped to him.
Skype to him, and he could have done all the work.
Yeah, that's it.
He could have given us more than like one microphone, though.
Well, we've got 3.
And 5 people.
Yeah, well, it's a lot easier to carry 3 microphones than it is to carry 5.
I do still blame Jason.
Yes, Jason.
Oh,
Not that you're going to listen to this, but it is your fault.
And then let's
I hope you get snowed in Syracuse.
snow in, well, we're in June now. Ooh.
Just saying.
I visited Syracuse once.
How was it?
It was actually kind of nice. It was after the cold and snow season, so I didn't have to worry about that.
That's good.
It was probably March-ish, I think.
It's good.
But that's when I was looking at SQLs. That was one I looked at.
The Syracuse University.
The Syracuse University.
Wanted to be an Orangeman, did you?
Nah, it was something they had the right program. They had the wrong cost to join that program, but I just remember when I was getting ready to, do some college visitations, I had to get like permission slip signed from our teachers to miss school, and
Just use both hands, Marlia. It's okay. Sorry. Marlia's struggling mightily opening her
It's like the Buddy and Toy Story situation. Would you like a hand? Except mine are both attached.
you could have held the microphone and just let her open it on her own.
Fair.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
But anyway, yeah, one of my teachers, he's like, Syracuse, huh? So you fan of the Big Ten? Or not Big East? And that's the time I looked at him, I'm like, I have no clue what you're talking about. Because, well, yeah. I think he knew I didn't like college basketball that much because earlier in the year, the dog didn't like something.
Oranges. Must have been the oranges that they have up in Syracuse that they don't like.
Could be.
Mace Windu, perhaps.
Yeah, it was like March Madness. just happened, and the local school was playing. And I walked into class for my third class in a row or something where they were watching the game. And I had no care about it. And so like I walked in and I went, oh, not again. So then
I'm just here to learn.
So then when I was like, oh, yeah, a couple weeks later, yeah, sign my permission slip. And he's like, oh, you're going to the Big East. I'm like, I have no clue what that means. So that's my stupid
That's what they're
story.
calling New York these days. All right. Thought it was the Big Apple.
Yeah.
But that's the city, so who's outside
know.
New York? No.
Just trying to make a joke here.
Well, it's a bad story, so you
Yeah.
make a bad joke to go along with it.
Fair enough.
Yeah, Jason, you have no snow to worry about whenever you do listen to this. The last time it ever snowed later than April was they got 1.75 inches in 2019-2020 up in Syracuse. So you're probably fine. But it could snow in June.
Wouldn't it just be 2020?
That's just the way it's written out. So,
And that's the Hobie weather report
yes.
for Syracuse.
No snow coming this June.
But no one had to worry anything at that time because that was COVID and everybody was inside anyway.
They wanted to go out and shovel snow.
Oh, look, we can make snow angels if we could go outside.
Well, you were allowed to go outside, you just couldn't go near anybody.
We'll all shovel 6 inches apart. Feet, sorry.
Keep 6-inch difference.
We're at good shoveling distance here, Jim.
We're a good shoveling distance away from each other sharing this microphone.
So that was my Syracuse. Anybody else have Syracuse stories?
I have none. I've never been there.
Never been.
I hear they have a nice lake.
I think they played Xavier once.
Several times, I think.
I've been to Fordham, but that's in New York City.
So that's not
I haven't been to
quite-
St. Bonaventure's. That's up in Olean, New York.
I have been there.
Oh, that's way up there, too.
I did have a T-shirt from the Rochester Institute of Technology.
Ooh, RIT?
Yeah, is that close?
That's close enough.
Okay.
Yeah, close enough. So what did everybody watch this week? Do we have any up, downs, anything favorite that people enjoyed? Let's start with Patrick. So you're new here. This is 1K Coney. He's a second time been on the podcast now?
Yeah, second time.
Okay.
Things that I watched this week. Currently, the French Open is going on. Novak just
withdrew for injury
today.
Yes.
Watched that match yesterday pretty intently while I was at work, and it was pretty fun.
And
Fun
it
to
was
follow.
kind of sad that Rafi lost in the first round, maybe in his last French Open.
Yeah. Given his who he was paired up against, it was kind of the way that they did things was a little weird. He didn't get a bye.
Yeah, he was
and was paired up
Zverev?
against Zverev, who's the
Yeah.
number 4 tennis player in the world. And he's
Yeah.
won it 14 times. You'd think he'd get a better draw, but a couple of them were a little weird. Team having to qualify for the tournament in his last ever, well, not last major, but in his last year after he announced his retirement.
Yes.
Was pretty disappointing as well. But yeah, no, it should be exciting semifinals. Skinner and Alcaraz are coming up in the next couple of days, and we've got 2 matches, I think, tomorrow to decide who else is going to be there. So
We will have sports talk tonight with both myself and Patrick here. Miss Marbles, any watch anything this week, or did you have a busy work week?
Didn't really watch much, but what are you doing? Okay.
Did you do any fun baking this week?
I may or may not have made something today.
Oh,
Man, you can announce
I
it.
did. Brian might have shared something on his Facebook yesterday, 2 days ago, maybe something. I don't know.
Sometime recently.
Sure. And I made that earlier today.
Fair.
1 day ago.
1 day ago. There you go.
It is his birthday month.
It is his birthday month, as we celebrate whole months for each individual.
As we should.
We get screwed there, Jeff.
Yeah, we have to share a month.
Twins or no?
What's that?
Twins or no?
Yeah, we are. We are twins. I was 4 minutes older than Jeff.
No.
Oh, well, that's what we tell people who actually meet us, and they some people are dumb enough to believe us. Jeff's 4 years older than I am, but we told one person he'll be. Let's not name him. I will call him Eric to just not name him. It wasn't
Definitely
Eric.
wasn't Eric.
Definitely not Eric, but we'll just call him Eric.
We'll just call him Eric
for the purpose of this story.
It was not Eric. Eric is much smarter than this. And he went home and told his wife that Jim and Jeff are twins.
Uh-oh.
And his wife, who has met Jeff maybe twice.
Something like that at the time.
I met her a few more times than that. Just looked at him and said, "You're stupid." Oh, so yeah, we are not. We're 4 years apart.
Yeah, well,
My sister and I do that in the opposite way. People go, "Are you sisters?" And I look at her and I go, "Who are you?" She can never commit to the bit, though.
Oh.
Yeah, I know, right?
No, well, was it one time my dad told one of his drunk buddies at the bar. We were all at the bar one time.
I wouldn't call it one of his drunk buddies. It
one
was
of the bar flies at the bar. How's that?
who, at that particular bar, when he's talked to you, you'd be lucky to understand 3 words he said.
Well, I understood the words he said this time.
Our father told him that, these are my sons. They're twins. And he stops and looks at both of us and points at Jeff and says, drunkenly, but you can understand it,
Yeah.
"You must have ate all the food."
Oh,
Yeah.
my.
Yeah. Well, I know who ate all the food. Yeah. Ooh, okay.
Fuck you too, buddy. Oh. Yeah, I met your brother too, and we know who got all the brain cells.
Oh, yeah, we had met his brother. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, 2 weeks ago I did my homework and I did watch Dark Star.
Oh, yes.
And I just wanted to talk about it since you guys just absolutely bashed it last week.
It wasn't good.
It definitely was not good, but it was definitely
Was
a
it great?
satire. And Jason didn't get to the scene where the newly acting captain was talking to the bomb.
Yeah.
That scene itself made the movie, I think. Getting all the philosophical things like, are you real? Or how do you know you're real? Well, I think, therefore I am. It definitely was satirizing how thinking he's real in 2001. And
Yeah.
that... And then him riding off on the debris and surfing into his demise was a proper ending of the film.
As the other guy get taken by the
Phoenix Comet. While it was bad, I kind of understood that, when they made it. Again, it was the early 70s, no technology for CGI or anything like that, so it was...
It won awards for, very small, minor awards for like, I guess it's, what's the word I'm looking for?
Is it Hobie Awards?
No,
Writing,
it should have.
cinematography, special effects.
Effects.
Okay.
It won some...
It's hard to give anything special effects with that alien, though.
Oh, the beach ball?
The beach ball with
claws?
With claws. Yeah. And then what else I watched? I've been rewatching House.
MD.
And...
Is it always lupus?
It is not.
Okay.
It took... The first mention of lupus was probably episode 17.
Yeah, well,
But since then, they mentioned it like 13 times. They mentioned rabies more, or there's a couple other diseases every time they mentioned before lupus. But Jason is it lupus?
Well, Jason does that because I told him It's always lupus.
And I maybe watched the saddest episode yesterday.
Oh, no.
When what's her name? Bitch.
Cuddy?
No, one of his apprentices, one of the doctors. Heartless bitch?
Olivia Wilde's character?
No, the other girl came up with her.
Oh, Amber?
Yeah, Amber.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize you were that far along that you were in
It's
that.
season 4.
Oh, okay.
When spoiler, when she dies. That was kind of brutal. So
I think saying spoiler for him. How long has that show been out for? It's probably unnecessary.
20 years?
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
she again
Been off the air for 12.
when they know she's dying because she was the patient that episode, those 2 episodes I think it was, and they know she's dying as soon as they like take her out of a coma, and they know she's not going to live, but then they're like, should we go talk to her? And they're like, she didn't like us, we didn't like her. And then Foreman is like, well, we like her today, and he made everybody go. And at least, like, he goes, what are we going to say? You don't have to say anything. Just at least go see her. So, and then, of course, Wilson was heartbroken. So
So did she have lupus?
she did not.
She had that one disease they call death that you unfortunately
you can't come back from
Yeah.
that. There's no cure.
She passed away from lack of oxygen to the brain.
natural causes, I believe.
Brian, did you watch anything this week?
I did. Last week, I watched Iron Claw. Incredibly depressing.
Yes, very, very depressing.
Very depressing.
As it was on my list of enemies or villains last week.
Sports villains.
Sports villains, yes. Suicide was a bad villain in that one.
Whew. I didn't fully know the story of that family or their history, so I was...
And they left one brother out.
Yeah. Like, they didn't even... Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
That made it even worse.
right. But it was a really good movie. It was just really depressing.
Oh, I thoroughly enjoyed watching it.
Yeah, I definitely don't know that I would watch it again only because of how sad it is, but it's, definitely well done and friend of the podcast.
That Gino Hernandez was awfully dreamy in that.
Yeah. Makes a small guest appearance. Had to rewind it. Dr. Dana missed him completely.
Well, he was in they talked before the match. He was in during the match, and he had scenes in the bar, too.
Oh, I missed those.
Yeah, he was in the bar when they were all drinking afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was one of the guys. I
missed that.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll have to go back to that part. And then, let's see. Caught up to we're up to starting season 14 and now Blue Bloods. So we're in the current season, starting the current season.
I didn't watch last season, so I'm like a season and a half behind.
Is this the last season?
Yes. So, but yeah, so get caught up on that. And then this week, we watched the entire season of Tracker, the new CBS show with Justin Hartley.
Ah, okay. I'm
the
trying
one
to
that,
place it. I know I've heard of it.
It debuted after the Super Bowl. So, like, I watched the first episode 2 or 3 days after the Super Bowl, and I was like, this is whatever. And then Erica was telling me she started watching it, and she's like, just get past the first episode, and, it'll get you. So we both binged it and watched all 13 episodes in, the last week. So, really excited about season 2 for that now. So,
And so this was the end of the season?
Yeah.
The end of it? Oh,
yeah,
all right.
we finished it, and
they're at summer hiatus.
yeah, but I don't believe that they're coming back in the fall. I think that they're
Won't begin till winter.
yeah. I think it seems like that's a lot of shows are doing that because of the strike. Like they're they're behind for the second halves of their seasons.
It's kind of a lot of shows are only either doing fall or spring.
Yeah, they're not doing a
seasons.
full,
They're not
like,
doing, yeah.
20-ish episodes like anymore.
So you'll get 13 before Christmas or so, and then 13 after Christmas.
Yeah. But, yeah.
52 episodes.
Well, 52
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you could be something. I was discussing this with my sister.
Wibbly Wobbly made 52 episodes.
52.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
that just plays to Mike Rowe's incredible work ethic, and he's honestly just trying to improve, everyone's work ethic. So
I mean, I was talking to my sister the other day about the old show, which is older than most of the people in this room, the Mary Hartman. And I didn't realize that was a 5 nights a week show.
oh wow,
So it was, it was kind of a spoof on soap operas, but I guess in and of itself it was a soap opera. But it's like, oh yeah, it had like 1,000 or some episodes in 2 years.
holy cow!
That's insane.
Yeah, it's like, oh wow.
Episodes.
I'm sorry.
How long were those episodes?
I can't remember if it was a half-hour show or an hour show, but
I would hope it was half.
Oh, half.
An hour would be insane.
well, I mean, like every soap opera you watch in the afternoon,
Those feel
But-
like they were 3 hours long when I was a kid. Like,
But they also, I think,
They were
those soap
always
operas
on.
have bigger casts. I mean, this was Louise Lasser is in like every episode or something.
jeez.
But maybe I was exaggerating on numbers. Now I'm trying to remember what it was. But I
If only we had a way to look that up.
only had a way. It was probably about half of what I said now that I'm thinking about it. Because if you figure 5 nights a week for 2 seasons,
They were 30-minute episodes.
30 minutes. All right.
How many episodes were there?
A lot.
Good answer. Good answer.
Yeah, the more I'm thinking of it, the more it was kind of probably closer to 600 than 1,000. But still a lot of episodes in 2 years.
Quite impressive.
Well, let's see, 52 weeks a year, 5 a week. That's 200 and... Okay, I can't do math.
It's a lot.
Yeah. So,
What did you watch this week, Jeff?
God, what did I watch? I don't know if I watched anything. Some baseball.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. Reds won 2 out of 3 against the Cubs, so that's good.
Yes. Did you happen to do any gambling on any of those baseball games?
I did not gamble on a single game.
Okay.
I don't know what's wrong with me and why I'm not automatically 325. That's it.
130 in the first season and 195 in the second season.
Well, 195 in one season is still a lot.
That's a lot.
Wow.
South Park would make that like 65 seasons.
Yeah.
But It's Always Sunny is down to like what 4 a season now, aren't they?
They were 8 last year. Last was 8, and like they released 2 a week.
Oh, okay.
So it was like 4
it was
weeks.
4 weeks.
But you had
8
2 episodes a week. Yeah.
Gotcha.
That was their compromise with FX because FX didn't want them to stop, but they were all like, okay, but now we all have these other things going on. Like we're far more,
We're more relevant in
Yeah.
the world than just this little
so
show.
like we'll still like hang out and
What is Rob McElhenney doing now? I mean, he's kind of a bum, isn't he?
That's what I watched. Thanks for bringing that up. Yeah, I watched like the first 4 episodes of the season of Welcome to Wrexham.
the new season.
Yeah, the new season started, I guess, earlier or last month. So, yeah. So, kind of caught up on that. And now they're promoted.
Oh, they got promoted.
Yep. They last season they won. And
The Ryan Reynolds effect.
2 seasons, 2 promotions. That's back-to-back seasons with promotion.
well, you're ruining the end of this season then.
Oh, yeah, my bad.
Yeah. This season is talking about the season that started in 2023.
He meant
Oh, yeah, but when I followed the team without watching the show,
But I didn't. So now I
spoiler,
spoiled.
they got promoted again. And
that was an actual spoiler. Not like a 12-year ago spoiler.
So the thing about it is, after the season, they're like McElhaney and Reynolds put so much money into it.
Oh yeah,
and they come back with like the books, and they're like,
"This is how much money you've lost.
You guys, the team owes them like $11 million," and people are like surprised by it. It's like, no, this was fully their understanding. Yeah. If they want to get promoted into bigger leagues, they need to spend money. Yeah. They need to get more talent, win these lower English leagues to get to the leagues that make money. So they're not surprised by this, but it still kind of sucks.
Now, the question I would have is, does that take into account the money made from the television show? Is that going into the running of the team, or that's separate and they pretty much, I mean, this show is probably paying that $11 million, I would think.
I would imagine that the show itself has to have factored into some sort of revenue for them. I mean,
and obviously the sponsorship revenue they get for being who they are, and
right.
We're putting our team on television, so United is sponsoring a shit ton of crap, and we got United to sponsor us now. Yeah, they got United on their uniforms, not TikTok this season.
Ooh.
Aviation Gin?
They still, I guess, as a secondary, Aviation Gin is still there. But, yeah.
Oh, it's just a good thing that Ryan Reynolds keeps doing all those mediocre movies.
Oh, yeah.
Funding his soccer problem.
Those terrible movies. Why do people even watch those anymore? But
Deadpool, more like Dead End.
You're the only one that
I
can hear that.
I hear that, but I hit the rim shot.
I knew what you were doing.
I mean, it could have been the sad trombone, but no, I went for the rim shot.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, so that's what I watched.
Nice.
I mean, I did finish. I rewatched Freaks and Geeks. I don't know if I talked about that.
You did, yeah.
Okay,
you did mention that.
So I finished the rewatch of that. And then, yep, okay, that's where I am.
Nice.
I was thinking, for something interesting, pick a show that we should all watch.
Okay.
And I want to get specifically Brian's thought of it.
Okay.
Because the new Star Wars show starts today.
Today?
Okay. The Acolyte, I think it is, on Disney Plus.
So
and it takes place in the past.
Okay,
so you probably don't need to have much background to know what's going on.
And you said this is a what?
Star Wars.
Okay.
So
I like science.
Yeah.
Do you like fiction?
Well, it's going to be a lot more fiction than science because there's no science in Star Wars.
Okay. I can dig it.
All right.
By the end of this, I'll have my answer. If I commit to that or not.
Okay.
I got to do some homework.
I mean,
I'll watch it.
Well, I figured you'd watch it. I know we got to convince Jason to keep up with it.
To actually watch it start to finish.
To watch it as we begin, as opposed to 4 weeks from now, binge it with his child, which is usually how he watches these shows.
Here, let me do Jason's part of the show right now. It's like, oh yeah, that show I'm just catching up on. Yeah, that Friday Night Lights. Oh, that's a fantastic show. I wish somebody would have told me about this earlier. I mean, this show's fantastic.
I've never heard about the show before. What's it about?
It's about this football coach and his team, and this Tim Riggins guy who's really dreamy.
I now understand why you said spoiler alert for House. I forgot Jason's TV watching habits are rather mediocre.
Oh, man, we finally got through season 3.
I wonder if this Amber chick dies in season 4.
Didn't they start that 4 months ago?
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
exaggerating.
Oh, yeah.
They took some time off for a little bit, and I don't know.
But it's so good.
It is.
But
Brian, did you like that show?
Nope, not at all.
Brian sitting here in his Dylan football hoodie.
Yes. I don't like that show at all.
It was a gift.
from myself. Okay, looking at the cast list for The Acolyte, I will watch it only because I like the guy from Squid Game.
Oh, okay. I have no
Mr.
clue who's
Beast?
in it, but
Lee Jung Jae. He plays Master Soul.
is he the main
was-
guy in Squid Game, or
Yeah, he was
Okay.
like one of the two main guys. Song Ji-hun.
excellent? All right,
So I will agree to watch this show.
and we know Blake will hate watch it and complain about it every week he's on.
Well, he won't ever be here, so.
So, in like a month, when we've all watched it,
Yes,
he's going to come in and just story time with Blake it, and we can all just have a week off.
Yeah, he'll be like, this one time I was, playing this dice game, and it had very similar like rules and manipulations to this TV show that you guys are all watching.
Did it happen in Alaska?
Wait, Blake went to Alaska? Why didn't anybody tell me?
I think we mentioned it once or twice.
Or he mentioned it once or twice.
I do know that Blake will be not in Alaska, but he will be in Sharonville at the Sharonville Convention Center October 18th to the 20th at the Cincinnati Comic Expo.
You sure Blake will be there? I mean, the rest of us will.
He said he was going to be
Oh,
there.
okay.
It's not his anniversary weekend,
That's true.
so he has no
It's
real...
Jason's anniversary weekend.
But he'll
Who
still
went?
show up.
Who else will be showing up?
Chuck Norris.
We could do Chuck Norris facts.
Ming Na Wen.
Katie Sackhoff.
Katie Sackhoff. Mira Sorvino.
Comic artist Alan Davis.
Comic artist Kevin Eastman.
Ooh, Teenage
Mutant Ninja Turtles. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Heroes and a Half Shell.
Turtle Power.
And some cool guys from the Hobie podcast will be there.
We will be there. We may even have some listener volunteers with us, too.
Ooh. Okay, I see these got broken into now.
Chris
Gotta go.
Potter, the voice of Gambit from
Oh, yeah, he was just announced.
From Gamp,
the
video games?
X-Men
X-Men
97.
97.
Yeah, so
Was he a voice actor in any of the Gambit video games, perhaps, during the early 2000s?
well, he was the voice of from the 90s X-Men show.
Okay.
And then back in X-Men 97. And then other John Rhys Davies, we talked about that last week.
Oh, yes, he is returning.
Magneto, Matthew Watterson
Very nice.
from the 90s X-Men
97.
97. So they got a good, I know Cyclops is going to be there too. So they have a good group of X-Men 97 cast members going to be there.
So who's doing the interview on that panel?
We have not. Ray Chase is the. That'll be Jason.
Okay.
Not Brad.
I don't know. Well, Cyclops is Jason's favorite X-Men character for some reason. He's like the worst.
Brad should totally do that panel.
I'll give it to Brad.
There you go.
Oh, and then Jennifer Morrison from House.
Oh, yeah, we were talking House, of course. She was also in Once Upon a
Once Upon a
Time and How I Met Your Mother and This Is Us, Blake's favorite show.
She was James T. Kirk's mother in 2009 Star Trek.
Oh, she was.
And who was the father?
Chris Hemsworth.
Yes.
Actually, I just realized Jennifer Morrison just showed up at the end of season 1 of Tracker.
Ooh.
So she's now in that show, too. So
Ooh, is she going to have a thing with, was his name Hartley?
Dustin Hartley.
Yes. I was about to call him Kevin Hartley, but Kevin was his character's name on
This Is Us.
This Is Us, who had a...
You were just thinking of Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
Oh, that was it.
Yeah. No, they're like she is like a childhood friend of his. That kind of just like came back into their lives. So I don't think it'll be anything like that.
I will say those two have good chemistry. So
And Jennifer Morrison also, I mean, Jason probably has to interview her because she is now a acclaimed director of shows.
Ooh.
she has a bigger director portfolio than Jason's favorite interview he had a few years ago.
Yes. So she did more than one episode?
Yeah, she did like a couple episodes of Joe Pickett. And there was another episode of Euphoria.
Ooh. Mm-hmm. All right. Somebody brought these Reese dipped animal crackers.
Knowing that we were on location at our home and she was going to be at work, Dr. Dana picked us up a bag of the Reese's dipped animal crackers for us this week. And they are so good.
They are divine.
They're fantastic.
Hey, that's a cat.
It's like an animal cracker dipped in chocolate and peanut butter. What could be better?
If Dairy Queen, they have the animal cracker that's like the iced one with the pink icing.
Oh, yeah.
And those little sprinkles. They made that into a Blizzard. If they could figure out a way to make this into a Blizzard, I'm there for sure.
So we're getting a Dairy Queen built near my house now.
Whoa.
Fantastic.
Haven't really had one around where I live for... Well, none close enough that it was worth going to, and the one that was close shut down like over a decade ago. Well, first it became an independent ice cream shop, and then shut down. So I'll have to find out if Dairy Queen is really worth the hype.
I'm a fan. There's really not one near here either. The closest one, I think, is in St. Bernard.
Yeah, there's one in Evendale, kind of where like our Bounce House warehouse is. But yeah. So it's just kind of on my route home sometimes.
Nice.
And I hear they got burgers.
Some of them do.
Well, some of them
do. So other ones are just like the normal,
just the
like
ice cream
shop.
For a solid 6.5 months, Dairy Queen was on DoorDash, and so I would be ordering ice cream or something for Erica and I, and like I would scrolling through the menu, and they had like just a plain, like not plain, but like a cheeseburger, like not a meal or just the cheeseburger, and in the DoorDash app, it was priced at like $1,300.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. So no one really ordered that.
No. And like every time, like we didn't do it often, but it like a few times throughout those 6 months, like when I would order, it was always still there. And I'm like, is somebody really buying that?
I don't think anyone is.
Like, why would they leave it up?
I hope not.
Did they put it on the menu knowing that they didn't have it? And like just
maybe
to take it off, and they were we got to
price
price this out like so high because they couldn't figure out how to take something off the menu.
Yeah.
And if someone buys it, we'll just run somewhere else and make it for them.
Yeah.
For $13,000, it's worth it.
Yeah, I never brought it to DoorDash's attention, but I mean, if Dairy Queen was getting it, good for them.
Yeah. Apparently, no one brought it to their attention, or they sold one, and that was enough to pay for.
Yeah.
Hopefully it was a good cheeseburger.
I can't see any piece of food being worth $13,000.
$1,300.
Oh, $1,300.
Yeah.
I just can't see any piece. Well,
what would it have to be, Jeff?
I don't know. Probably, yeah, I'm having a hard time thinking. It's probably not $1,300 for something. Yeah, no, I can't think of anything that would taste that good.
So you're not going to Salt Bay's restaurant, steakhouse over in England or wherever he's at?
No.
Good, because nothing's worth it.
Well, those ones where they like put gold on it. I'm like, why the fuck? You're only doing that just so you can charge more money.
Oh, he's one of those guys that does that.
It's not adding to the taste of anything.
Like steak. One of the steaks he has is something like
gold leaf wrap.
Yeah,
yeah. No, that's just somebody with the people paying for that are just paying to eat gold is the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
If I'm going to pay to eat gold, I'm ordering it like a normal person getting Goldschlager.
Exactly.
Getting my cheap gold leaf through my alcohol. not through my Brussels sprouts.
Goldschlager is one of the hard liquor alcohols that I'll do. Well, schnapps. I like schnapps. That's about it.
And it is a schnapps. It is a cinnamon schnapps. Like when the kids today at the bar, when they get like a shot of, we do the one with Jaeger and Goldschlager, Starry Night, and they drink. They're like, "Oh, is there Fireball in this?" I'm like, "Oh God, no!" And then they see Goldschlager, and they're so scared of it. I'm like, "This was the cinnamon drink before Fireball even existed."
Yeah.
And it's better. It's better.
It doesn't burn. Well, I mean, it does.
It's higher proof alcohol. It's I think 70 compared to like 55 or something. Yeah, Fireball's not that strong. Well, you can get different levels of Fireball. Like if you go to your corner gas station here in Ohio, you can pick up a little shooter for like $1, and you get your 20% alcohol, your 40 proof, and it's not whiskey. Those, it just says cinnamon flavor or something on it.
Yeah, it's like cinnamon flavored liqueur or something like that.
Lawsuit about that?
Yeah, there was a lawsuit. We talked about that.
We discussed the lawsuit on.
But yeah, I said if you go to a corner gas station and you're spending $1 for a shooter and you're mad it's not foolproof Fireball whiskey, then you're just an idiot.
Just know that gas station probably doesn't have a liquor license.
Well, they have a liquor license, but not a foolproof liquor license.
Fair.
They're selling beer and alcohol. You need a liquor license.
So that is called a Starry Night.
Starry Night, yes.
Okay.
It's the Jägermeister makes it dark, and then the gold flakes kind of
make it a little starry.
Make it starry.
Because then you add some Rumpelmans to it. And I think that wasn't that the Screaming Dead Nazi?
Oh my God.
Something like that, yeah.
Before. It's like the 3 German-sounding liquors. That's the one of the shots I do.
It was also that also was referred to as a liquid cocaine, but at our bar we simplified liquid cocaine and just did Rumpelmans and Jägermeister.
Put them all 3.
I know all the shitty shooters that you can make because
you have to make them.
All these people I know who are mixologists who have to mix all these good things together and make them taste good. Try mixing a bunch of crap together and make it taste good.
If you polish a turd, it's still a turd.
It's still a turd.
Or you can mix a bunch of crap together and get something that tastes like crap.
Oh, yeah, I do that a lot. That's my specialty, is taking...
Make this a career for no reason.
Yes.
Yeah, he turned this into a career by doing that. So he knows what he's doing.
Oh, this is 3 terrible things that when you mix them together taste worse than each individual on its own.
A little less terrible when they're all together.
To be fair, it makes 3 terrible things, only 1 terrible thing. So he is doing us a favor by not making us have to do all 3 of those terrible things at the time.
We just do them all at once, and it narrows down the terribleness. Yes, Jim was making the motion to call in the closer.
Bring in the lefty. We're bringing the closer in. That shuts the night down. It's one of the best shots around.
Created a shot that you drink at the end of the night because then your night's done.
It doesn't have to be the end of the night. It can be the beginning of the night.
Whatever you do it, your night's done.
Whenever you feel like going home, ask for the closer.
The best use of this one was at our local watering hole. My sister and her friend were sitting at their little futons that we made our home at this bar, and this guy plopped down right between them, and he's like, "Hey, it's my birthday. Buy me a beer." And both my sister and her friend are kind of looking at me like, help. So I'm like, "Hey, buddy, I'll buy you a shot for your birthday. Come on." So I bring him up to the bar, and I look at the bartender, and I'm like, "Abby, I need 2 closers." And she's like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah, really." She's like, "Okay." So she makes 2 of them, one for me and one for him, because I'm not going to be an ass and buy this guy a shot and make him do it by himself, because this guy wouldn't have. Because he's like, "I said a beer." I said, "It's your birthday. You can do a shot." I said, "How bad it can be? I'm doing it with you." He's like, "Oh, okay." So I'm like, "Cheers." So we clink it together. We both throw him back. And I'm like, "Happy birthday." And he goes, and runs immediately into the women's bathroom. About 10 minutes later, his friends carry him out of the women's bathroom to the car and take him home.
What is in that shot?
It is Jägermeister, Jameson, and tequila.
Oh my god.
Yes. So, I mean, yeah, I did it. I'm like, okay, cool. And then he went home.
It was the end. Hey, it could be worse. You can turn the closer into an embalming fluid.
Yes, that was the original shot, but since some places don't carry Worcestershire sauce, I just made it a closer.
Wouldn't it make the most sense to have an embalming fluid right above where Pierce has his crypt, so it would go hand in hand?
On the main level?
Well, you embalm them on the main level and you send them down the chute.
For some of the listeners, one of my fellow bartenders at a bar his nickname is the Exu Crypt Keeper, and he is rumored to have killed many women and buried them in the basement at our bar.
None of these facts are true.
None of these facts are true, but
they
we
might
still
be.
joke to him about it.
But those are the good rumors.
Please don't investigate further.
I would watch that Netflix documentary. Just saying. I would be happy to be interviewed for it as well.
Ooh.
I have stories.
Would you want to be the interviewee that's on like MTV where everything is blurred out and your voice is like very deep and you're just
I very confidently will show myself for that documentary. Michael only deserves the best from us.
See, the thing is, though, it won't be one of those, I'm so surprised that he would have done this type of interview.
No, we 125% assumed that this was already happening.
There's a reason you become friends with these people, so they don't kill you.
Correct. Yes.
so you don't get sent down the conveyor belt into the basement of Davis.
We have another kind of bar back regular who's come in who we assume he's going to shoot up something.
Yeah, the weather.
Yeah. And I purposely became good friends with him, so when he goes on a shooting spree, he'll start shooting people, then he'll look over at me and be like, "Oh, hi, Jim." And I'm like, "Hi, you can go."
So you want to be the Steve Buscemi character from Billy Madison. Got it.
Glad I called
that guy. But this guy has a lot of good. Like if there's a tornado coming he is a storm chaser. So if there's a tornado coming to your city, you want to call him, and he will rush to your city because the tornado will never show up by him.
So he's as good of a storm chaser as the family in Van Helsing are of vampire hunters.
Exactly.
He might as well just start a tornado chaser show and call it Ghost Hunters, and then
when he goes on these trips, he just texts me. He's like, "Well, missed another one."
Ghost-nado.
Trademark that.
Oh, trademark. It's coming to NBC next fall.
Ghost-nado.
Starring
one guy.
Oh, let's see. Who could we?
Bronson Pinchot.
Dean. I like Bronson Pinchot.
They could both be in it.
John Cena.
No, we can't see him.
Exactly. Now you can't see the tornadoes either.
John Cena plays the tornado.
I don't know. If we're going to get a disappearing guy, give me Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt might be a little more expensive than John Cena. I don't know.
I
could be wrong.
He did the Vanisher for free.
That is true. It took a whole 3 minutes to film.
Yep. Should we do some news of the geek here?
Sure.
We have some. Brian posted a few articles that we can look up and we can read. Are you going to give us some music?
If I find the right buttons.
I'll let you. I'll talk until it comes up, and like Jason's like, "Okay, Jeff, give us some music for it."
Cue the music.
Here we go. It's time for a brand new installment of the News of the Geek.
This is from the Business Insider, where we just found this article. No one gets other news from there. An unofficial Lego event filled with empty space and piles of loose Lego has been compared to the infamous Willy Wonka experience.
Did that also make children leave in pieces?
Oh, boo. British Lego fans were left feeling less than impressed last week after a convention dubbed the UK's biggest Lego festival turned out to be a bleak, half-empty room. Brickfest Live UK was held from May 25th to 27th in the British city of Birmingham. It promised to bring fans a jaw-dropping collection of brick creations from across the globe under one roof. It was not sponsored or affiliated with Lego.
Oh.
The poster promised a Lego brick pit, life-size models, floor mosaics, derby races, and a glow zone. Instead, footage from the event appeared to show a large convention hall with a few large models scattered about the room, a shop, and a small children's play pit. The event's disappointing offering has been compared to the Willy Wonka experience fiasco held in Scotland last February, which went viral because it was such a letdown. It's as bad as that Willy Wonka experience in Scotland. Hardly anything there. Both of my kids were so disappointed, one mother told Birmingham Live. Another attendee shared a video of his experience at Brickfest Live on his YouTube channel, saying he paid $50 for a VIP ticket and was filled with regret. Most of the event is empty space and piles of loose Lego, the Lego enthusiast said. It's one of the biggest cons I've ever experienced, and I've been coming to conventions for 15 years.
I like con can mean two different things.
Oh, this one
Con.
The negative. Fellow angry fans commented on the video, agreeing that the festival had been a disappointment and was utter rubbish. Several said that they were demanding a refund. They should be allowed to get away with this blatant false advertising, commented a father who brought his 10-year-old son to the event. Brickfest Live's website and social media sites were all inactive when Business Insider tried to contact them.
Shocking.
If you watch this guy's YouTube video, it is pretty bad. The little shop they had there it was pretty much, if you had young kids, it might have been okay, but the shop didn't have any like high-priced sets or anything. It was all like kid sets. They did have like big mosaic stuff you could build on the floor, but he showed up at the VIP event before anybody else was there, so none of that was built.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. You know, they put in the fine print that the people that were there are supposed to help them be creative.
Oh no, the
and build with
mosaic
them.
again. You paid to make this mosaic and put it on there, and since he was the first person in the door, there's nothing done. And then the like 10 models that they had built were all owned by this company that did it. And they were neat. They were probably the best things in there, but there was no real interaction done. And it was, for $50, it was a big waste. So, watch out what cons you go to. Make sure they're good. Not like the Cincinnati Comic Expo, which is fantastic.
Definitely worth $50. I don't know if it's $50.
I think they were. It depends if you get VIP tickets or
Fair.
if you get regular tickets.
Should get the VIP tickets. They'll be worth
They
it.
can't. They're already sold out.
They're not
For
on
next
sale
year,
anymore.
2025.
Do you have something, Marlia? No. Okay.
Oh.
Okay. Patrick?
Go ahead, Brian.
All right. So, shockingly, we have another Tauron that was gored by a bison at Yellowstone. 83-year-old woman seriously gored by a bison in Yellowstone Park over the weekend. The bison was defending its space when it gored the South Carolina woman near the Storm Point Trail. The bison came within a few feet of the woman and lifted her about a foot off the ground with its horns.
Were there other people there that saw this?
Oh yeah, they didn't attach a video, but I'm sure it'll be on the Tauron Instagram page.
Probably.
There is an Instagram page that is specifically about tourists acting like morons in Yellowstone
And just getting obliterated
getting
by some
obnoxiously
that's-
close to animals and getting provoking them. The woman was not immediately identified, but she was airlifted to Eastern Idaho Regional Medical Center.
by the bison.
Yes. He got her like halfway there.
The buffaloes do have wings.
Yeah.
The park noted more people have been injured by bison at Yellowstone than any other animal. They said it's visitors' responsibility to keep the distance from within the wild animals, staying a minimum 25 yards away and 100 yards away from bears and wolves. Bison are not aggressive, but will defend their space when threatened. They are unpredictable and can run 3 times faster than humans. Then this just goes on to tell us
Probably even faster than some humans.
3 times faster than...
But I'm like probably even more than that, like faster than me. They're probably about 5 times faster than me.
Yeah, I mean, if that's 3 times faster than Usain Bolt, that's like 12 times faster than like some people.
Let's see. In April, an Idaho man suffered minor injuries when he was attacked by a bison after he allegedly kicked it. He was later charged with being under the influence of alcohol, disorderly conduct, approaching wildlife, and disturbing wildlife. Let's see. 47-year-old woman gored by another bison not far from the most recent attack in 2023. A 25-year-old woman and a 34-year-old man were gored by a bison near Old Faithful within weeks of each other. Another elderly tourist was gored by a bison in June of 2022. Yeah, so...
Hey, let them be, and they won't hurt you.
Yeah, you don't have to get in their face to take a picture of them. Just
Zoom.
squeeze your screen.
Just a little
Yep. Google it. You can zoom in on them.
Well, this was an 80,
Call your children. Ask them how
83-year-old
to
woman.
zoom.
She just doesn't know how.
Ask them how to friendly approach bison.
Yeah.
From a distance.
Don't.
A little related quickie here is on a YouTube or a Instagram story. They have awesome job. Utah search and rescue crews put their lives on the line to help those who bite off a little more than they can chew. Grand County Emergency Medical Service performed an incredible rescue after a man was stranded on a hoodoo towering thousands of feet in the air over the canyon below. A hoodoo was like a standalone rock where the guy ran from the cliff and jumped onto it and was stranded on it.
I just found that exact post on Durons of Yellowstone.
EMS teams, along with Grand County Search and Rescue, were called to Pucker Pass in Long Canyon after a male nursing an injured ankle wasn't able to get off the hoodoo with a sharp, catastrophic drop on all sides. So this idiot ran and jumped and sprained his ankle and couldn't get back. So he makes these rescue guys get ladders, put him across the gap, climb across, and bring him over. I would have left him there for at least 2 days.
Oh, we're going to airdrop
Here's some water.
some
bison.
water and... Yeah, why didn't they just get the flying bison to save him?
Airdrop a bison onto the cliff.
No, the bison are too smart to jump across there, unlike the humans.
If you're not going to jump off, this bison's going to make you jump off. You're going to get down one way or the other.
I was down at Natural Bridge, I think 2 weeks ago, like a month ago, and there's that one rock that juts out. It's like Big Stone Rock or something like that. It's a real obvious name.
Yeah, most rocks are made of stone.
Yeah. But someone, and I don't know if this happens often, I'm sure it does because people are freaking stupid, took their dog, and you're not supposed to have dogs up there anyway because it's a trail that is somewhat treacherous and a very, that we took the easiest path and it took us a very long time to do it. They had their dog up on this rock. They took their dog off the dog's leash when the only thing in between this dog and death is about 5 feet. And I watched it happen, and I was just I was like, okay, that's... The dog sat and probably took like one of the cutest pictures of all time. However, not worth it. Because what happens if somebody like approaches that dog and it runs,
Or an animal of like
Literally anything else.
Yeah.
like if a branch falls the wrong direction or snaps,
Spooks them.
and it
They're-
spooks them,
yeah,
and they're
gone.
gone. Yeah. So don't don't do stupid things with your animals or stupid things with wild animals, please. Thank you.
This has been a public service announcement brought to you by Hobie.
And Pat. I have a non-wildlife related story. Golden Bachelor update.
Oh, yes.
Rupert Murdoch, spry age of 93, finally got married for the fifth time.
For the fifth time. All right. So, wow.
He is once again a newlywed. The media mogul and former News Corp executive married his girlfriend Elena Zukova on Saturday. He was, let's see here. He announced the engagement to Zukova, who is a retired molecular biologist, just prior to his 93rd birthday, at a gathering held by Wendy Ding, Murdoch's third wife.
Ah.
So his third wife held the wedding engagement announcement party for his her.
Was the fourth wife busy or something?
Yeah, don't they know that the proper order is previous
they
one?
Definitely didn't go in numerical order there. They have been together since last summer.
Oh,
so
okay.
I think this one will stick.
This one will last. I mean, that's at least 8 months.
And what, he's 90?
93.
93? Okay, so yeah, the chances are that it'll last or he'll die.
Well,
so it will last forever.
Till death do us next week.
Yeah.
She's a pretty good-looking woman for a 67-year-old.
I mean, she's retired, so that's better than I was expecting.
Oh yeah,
I was expecting 28-year-old.
I guess she's a molecular biologist or something. Yeah, so she probably has money of her own. So it's not like she's like completely a gold digger.
I mean, she did have a bit of competition because his previous wife was model Jerry Hall.
Oh, Jerry Hall was married to him?
Yeah,
I didn't
for
realize
5
that.
years.
Ooh.
So, if they can't make it,
I mean, how many different weddings did
Jerry Hall been in?
Yeah,
he was also engaged in 2023 to Anne Leslie Smith, but that engagement was called off soon after.
Oh. Couldn't make it.
He married Patricia Booker from 56 to 65, Anna Torv from 67 to 99, and Wendy Dang from 99 to 2013.
This fucking guy. Neither excessive pride nor false humility are admirable qualities, he said at the engagement. But I am truly proud of what we have achieved collectively through the decades, and I owe much to my colleagues whose contribution to our success have sometimes been unseen outside of my company. I don't know what that has to do with your fifth wife.
I think he was talking about something else.
I mean,
what was it?
He's got it. He's got everything all together.
Well, was this party specifically an engagement announcement, or was it something else that they announced the engagement at?
So they reveal. Let's see. Actually, I misspoke. They met at a gathering hosted by his third wife. She didn't hold their engagement announcement. They met
there. Okay.
His former third wife's gala.
Oh, she probably got between him and his previous fiance.
Yeah, she probably didn't like Jerry Hall and wanted him to get away from her. So she's like, "Hey, come over and meet my friend. She's a scientist, formerly. She
I
retired."
like science.
That's exactly how I would expect a 93-year-old man to say that.
Jerry Hall's relationship, the only other one was Mick Jagger.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
She's not in it for the money.
I don't think she was ever technically married to Mick Jagger, but they were together for 20-some years.
I thought there was somebody else she was with, too.
But they have under her Wikipedia pages had those two listed as spouse and partner.
Okay.
But she has like 2 or 3 kids with Mick Jagger.
Yeah.
Any other fun stories anybody find, or are we going to move on to some
box office
news?
I have one more.
Okay, we can go.
Let's hear it, Brian.
Let's see here. Pat McAfee, in a little bit of hot water, used some choice language to describe Indiana Fever rookie Caitlin Clark on Monday's installment of the Pat McAfee Show, referring to her as one white bitch for the Indiana team who is a superstar. Coming off a weekend that saw Chicago Sky veteran Chennedy Carter hip checker, McAfee began his show by discussing in-game rivalries before seguing to the evolution of successes and popularity in the WNBA, because he's qualified to speak to that. But thanks to a rookie class bolstered by Angel Reese, Cameron Brink, Camila Cardoso, and of course Caitlin Clark, he took umbrage with the media's overhyping of this year's rookie, stating that while he doesn't know if Clark is the GOAT, quote unquote, she currently has what we like to describe as a cash cow. I would like the media people that continue to say this rookie class, this rookie class, this rookie class. Just call it for what it is. There's one white bitch for the Indiana team who is a superstar, and it's because she stayed in Iowa and put an entire state on her back and took a program from nothingness to multiple year success story. Is it because she could go on to break the entire points records in history of NCAA, both men and women? Is there a chance that people would just enjoy watching her play basketball because of how electrifying she is, and how she went about doing what she did and what she stood for?
Now, what he's trying to say is calling her a bitch is a compliment.
Yeah, he's trying to say that she is that bitch. Like, she's the white bitch in the WNBA. Not like that she is just a bitch in the WNBA. But people take things out of context. He's been very high on her most of his career that I've followed. Yeah. So I don't think it was any... Obviously, everybody, screaming A. Smith and all of those people are going to take all that stuff.
Still, it's a bad word to use when you're complimenting somebody.
For sure. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man, you're just such a great bitch today.
The thing is, he is starting to get a little stale. McAfee.
It's all starting to get a little stale.
Since he went on, signed with ESPN, he just kind of... He's thrown stuff out there as shock value. He's becoming the next Skip Bayless, the next...
Stephen A. Smith.
Stephen A. Smith. The next Sim. That's a stupid idiot moron. Where he just said they're doing stuff to get reaction. Like I thought when he first came out, he was a little more fresh, a little kind of more like the everyday man. But now I think he's just trying to get reactions.
And we're talking about it.
Yep. So right now we just broke out some new Pringles.
This
is the Carnitas Taco.
A Carnitos Taco in a potato crisp.
So while everybody is eating, I will kind of watch and see what their facial expressions are. And no one is gagging. There's no or anything like that.
Jason's not here.
Not that kind of show.
Everybody seems to be enjoying them at least. Any reaction? Let's see what Brian thinks.
That's a different flavor, but I like it.
It definitely has a taco flavor to it. It tastes like a Carnitos taco.
But not like the taco flavored Pringles. It's different than like that, because those are more like, I don't know, it just tastes different. But I like it.
It tastes like a good taco as opposed to their regular taco.
Not like a Taco Bell taco.
Yeah.
Which is what I assume.
Taco Bell. Oh, that's really how I feel about it. But these chips are good, and obviously listeners know I tend not to particularly care for these flavored chips to begin with, but this one is better than most.
Yeah, for a taco. I mean, it's definitely Carnitas taco, and then, again, the first thing I got, again, was the aroma, the nose of it, and it was taco-y, and then, yeah, it's different than a regular taco chip. Who brought these? Were these from you, Brian?
They were not from me.
I did.
Oh, this
That
is
was
from
me.
Mark. Ah,
We have two Canadians of the year battling it out to see who will
these Canadians
win
of the year are doing
supremacy
an
of
awesome job with these bribes.
I saw them as I was getting the ingredients for the other thing.
For dessert?
Which we will get shortly.
Yes.
Appetizer was the Reese's dipped animal crackers. Our main course is the Pringles carnitas taco. And then, dessert coming up.
All right. Well, now
All right.
it's time for...
It's time for Box Office Bombs.
Box office bombs. Nothing that came out this past week got in the top 5.
I don't. Are you sure? Because all of those last week were blockbusters in my book.
The highest any did coming in at number 7. Haikyuu: The Dumpster Battle came in at number 7 with $3.5 million. So
Yes.
the Dumpster Battle
Last week.
is the best of the newcomers. So
Man,
I mean, it's like the summer movie season hasn't started yet.
it must kick off this weekend.
Must.
And can I just say that Jason will lose any haiku battle against a child, let alone an adult.
Oh, that's right. We were going to do a haiku rap battle, weren't we?
Yes, and he was so awful. And I'm sure he's going to be so disappointed when he doesn't hear this because he doesn't listen.
I'd be surprised if anybody listens. Why do you people listen? Oh, wait.
What did actually come in this week?
Coming in at number 1, the Garfield movie in its second week made $14 million, a total of $51.5 million. I don't know the budget.
I think that's close to its budget because I think it was
Like 60 or 70 something.
maybe 70. I think so. It's going to make its money back.
It went from number 2 to number 1 this week.
And remember, everybody poo-pooing on it 2 weeks ago. Like, who wants to go see a Garfield movie?
Everyone.
That was Jason poo-pooing.
And Blake.
Oh.
They were just like, oh, does it really in the zeitgeist of today?
Well-
I'm like, well, they're going to introduce it to a new bunch of kids.
You make it in the zeitgeist.
I would love to see a American Acres cartoon, though, movie.
That would be better. Especially I forget the character's name.
Sheldon?
Sheldon, who's just an egg with feet sticking out of it. Coming in at number 2, we've got Furiosa, a Mad Max saga, making $10.7 million, a total of $49.7 million. And, it fell off a lot more than Garfield did, and I don't think it's going to.
It's not going to make its money back. Maybe worldwide. it
Maybe
depends.
worldwide, yeah. I'm just looking at the domestic.
Domestic.
Coming in at number 3, If made another $10.5 million, a total of $80 million. Pretty good. I think...
Garfield was a $60 million budget.
thank you. So it got its... 51 is what it's at. Okay. So by next week, it'll get its budget back. Coming in at number 4, the movie Jason still needs to see, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Oh, I so want to see this.
Just under $9 million for a total of $140 million.
Maybe that's what he's waking up tomorrow at 6 a.m. for.
Yeah.
And finishing the top 5, The Fall Guy made another $4 million, a total of $80 million.
Still not close to its money back, but still impressive it's hanging on, even though it is on demand.
It's on demand, and it's number 5 this week, and you can get it in
At home.
the privacy of your own home. So that's kind of impressive that it made $4 million. Unless, that's just the box office. That doesn't count any streaming fees.
Furiosa's budget was $168 million.
Ooh.
Worldwide, it's at $116 million.
116. Okay, I was just about to look that up, but well,
They might get it.
they might get it. It depends on if it's got more markets to open in or not. I think.
It has to open in Asia.
Oh, okay.
That's a pretty big one.
If it's allowed to open in China, I never know what Chinese restrictions have on these. It'll make its money back.
I can tell you that in just 1 second.
All right.
Actually, it opened in Japan on May 31st. It opens in China this week.
Okay. So then we'll have to look at that in the next couple weeks to see where it's at with the Chinese market. All right. Jim, do you know what we have coming out this week?
Upcoming. Well, they were on the outline last week, so let's go with Bad Boys.
Bad Boys.
Ride or Die. When the former captain is implicated in corruption, 2 Miami police officers have to work to clear his name. This is a small-budget film with unknown actors named Will Smith, Martin Lawrence, Vanessa Hudgens. So that might make its money back. Or I don't know. It's probably got a pretty good budget. Ooh, it has McSteamy in it. Eric Dane.
Ooh.
Ian Gruffeld. Oh, okay.
Ian Griffith.
Griffith?
It's Welsh.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Yeah, you know, the guy who was in the Fantastic Four films.
Yes.
Which were fantastic.
Were there
Sense
4
of
of
the
them?
name. Also coming out, we have Kyle and the Last Emerald.
About the last one.
After moving, Kyle meets a man who warns that evil people seek an emerald that could doom the world. Kyle and friends search for it to stop the villains.
So this is just Jack and the Beanstalk, basically.
This how old is Zach? Zach Avery stars in it, and he wrote it and directed it, and he looks pretty young. So,
is this a live action?
No, it's live action.
Oh, nice.
It's probably a pretty low budget, but yeah. So it's Zach Avery's probably directorial and movie debut.
It's his tour de force.
Yeah. Then we have The Watchers. A young artist gets strangled in an extensive, or gets stranded.
Quite the difference.
A young artist gets stranded in an extensive, immaculate forest in Western Ireland, where, after finding shelter, she becomes trapped alongside 3 strangers, stalked by mysterious creatures each night.
Where she tries to find the last emerald.
It's Dakota Fanning, Georgina Campbell, Olwen Foree, Oliver Finnegan, Alistair Brammer, John LaBuncha, Irish. But, yeah, that...
I'm trying to think. Have I seen anything with Dakota Fanning in since she's, become adult?
Let's see, what Dakota Fanning... She has been in the show Ripley, The Equalizer 3, The First Lady is a show, The Alienist, Vienna and the Phantoms,
I have not
Sweetness in the Belly, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. She played Squeaky Fromm.
Okay.
Ocean's 8. So
She was in Ocean's 8?
she was in Ocean's 8.
She wasn't one of the 8, was she?
She was Penelope Stern.
Oh, I don't even remember her. Okay. It's probably because she doesn't look like a child anymore.
Yes. And then the last one coming out this week, I have to say that in the with quotes because it's being I guess probably a new release from a 2022 film, School of Magical Animals 2.
Oh, it's the sequel.
School of Magical Animals came out in 2021.
We probably talked about it then.
The students of the School of Magical Animals want to perform a musical for the school's anniversary. Will the rehearsals end in chaos, or will the class pull together? And what's up with the strange holes on the school grounds? That's it.
Are they?
It's an
glory
animated
holes?
film.
Yeah, I'm afraid to know what type of holes they are.
Is R-Zero and what's his name? Stanley. Yeah, Mr. Yelnats out there digging mysterious holes.
No, it's not animated. It's not animated. I thought it was. I have no idea who any of these people are.
Gotta be good.
I don't know. Maybe they're just holes of the glory kind.
The glorious holes.
Brian's reaction is like, I can't believe we're talking like this.
You're allowed to lay down, right?
This house.
You sleep standing up.
Well, I think before we get to our top 5 list, I think we should have some dessert.
All right.
So, Miss Marbles,
Yes.
what do we have that Brian is going to get out of the refrigerator?
What did Brian share on his Facebook one day ago?
I know what it is. If
banana pudding
Rice Krispie
treats.
Correct.
See, I look at
it's
Brian's
a lot of tasty
Facebook
things
page.
all together in one beautiful pan.
bananas. You got banana pudding.
Well, I
You
didn't
got
actually-
marshmallows.
I didn't put real bananas because
Oh.
I kind of forgot. I also forgot the milk after I left. I had to go back.
Go back. Oh.
You went back for the milk, but not the bananas?
To go back to the same Kroger, so I went to the Meijer instead.
So well, at least when you were there, you picked up some Carnitas Taco Pringles.
Yeah.
I did.
We ate them.
There was another thing that I almost brought, but I decided against it because I was like, 3 seems a bit excessive.
Because you're like, I want these for myself, and screw you guys.
No, 3 just felt excessive. You know,
It felt
I
kind
didn't know if there was gonna be other stuff here.
felt kind of needy, kind of like.
At the time, I thought it was just gonna be me, Jeff, and Brian. So I was like,
and
a lot.
until Pat and I decided, hey, we can just drive over from golf and join everybody.
And we're glad you did.
We're glad to be here.
Yes. Oh, and we knew we weren't going to have to go out to Jason's house and get kicked out by like 9:20. Not after 9:29.
9:29 is like Jason's like, all right, let's start wrapping it up. My alarm went off. Brian's walking in the room.
We can use these bowls, couldn't we? Brian grabbed extra like bowls and stuff for us, but we have some already on the table that we've been eating our other snacks out of. But
Oh, quick! I got to get the chip
Crumbs.
dust out of there.
The aroma on the nose is phenomenal.
It's very banana.
banana-y.
Banana.
Yes, I have no banana.
See, Jason would normally
Sorry
take
to hear that,
pictures,
Jeff.
but
I have no bananas today.
it is Rice Krispie squared with banana pudding and, of course, Nilla wafers broken up on top.
Some Nilla wafers in the
Rice Krispie?
Rice Krispie itself.
Nilla wafers
As
mixed.
well as a little bit of the pudding itself is also mixed in with the Rice Krispie.
Not going to lie, but I don't think Brian really needs... He can give out you guys each a piece. I'll just finish the rest.
No, that is definitely no.
My birthday month.
You do have to save some for Dr. Dana, though.
Well, most definitely.
Correct.
Because that would just be rude not to.
Oh, it smells great.
Man, this is going to be a tight race for Canadian of the Year. I know who's not going to get it right now.
Jason?
Oh,
Doug.
Doug.
Run hour.
Our sister Carolyn.
Oh no, she's definitely out of the running. She might get Pittsburghian of the year.
Okay, so as everybody eats, everybody seems to be enjoying it so far. Lots of smiles, chewing, and let's see. I'll do my first bite and see if we get a Doug reaction from eating.
I don't see anyone getting it.
Jeff almost died on it. He might be allergic to bananas. Didn't disclose that before he bit in.
I started.
I hope I didn't kill Joe.
Yeah, right.
Drink some water, man.
I started laughing over calling it anytime that something's disgusting a Doug reaction.
It's a Doug
But
reaction.
I had a little Rice Krispie still in
Had
the
a
throat.
little
so-
banana in your throat. Phenomenal, by the way. Very, very delicious.
I have almost enough ingredients to make more.
Almost enough.
I didn't realize how much marshmallow I was going to need. So I got, like, just enough.
The silence is actually just a compliment because this is delicious. It's awesome podcasting, too.
Oh yeah.
ASMR Rice Krispie Banana Pudding Edition.
Everybody listen to us eat. We get 1-star reviews for that.
Yes. But that's when you're eating your sandwich.
Brian,
Yeah,
this was for you. What do you think?
Home run. Yes.
Thank you.
It was so good.
So good.
I
don't want to. But I could.
no doubt in my mind that I could finish that off. No doubt.
That was 6 cups of Rice Krispie.
And you've got 6 more, almost 6 more?
Well, I got a whole box, so like I didn't use the whole box for that.
Don't tempt me with a good time.
And I got 2 boxes of the pudding mixture because it was like $1. I was like, fuck it. I mean, why not?
Getting seconds.
All right. Oh, what do we got left on the agenda?
I believe it would be our top 5 list.
Oh, should I find some top 5 music to play?
Yeah, press some buttons.
Just not the delete button.
Oh.
Format. Don't format.
Oh, man, that hurts. A lot of noise for everybody. That means it's time for top 5. Yay!
Our top 5 this week is a top 5 pet peeves. So the 5 things that annoy the shit out of us the most.
Well, I kind of took pet peeves as minor annoyances versus, I would have to go down the hall to give my top 5 real hatreds.
Yeah. That's just how I view pet peeves, as like just annoying shit.
Yeah, I think this is one that we have done a while ago, but nobody else in this room was on that episode. And I know my pet peeves have shifted a little over the years. So I thought it was a good one to revisit.
All right, you want to start us off?
I will start us off. At number 5, I have repetitive streaming commercials. When you're watching a show, streaming it, and every time it goes to a commercial break, you watch the same 3 commercials. I'm like, there should be a rule that once you show that one commercial, you can't show it again during this episode. Because I am so tired of those T-Mobile commercials now.
Thank you, Amazon Prime. Now that you added commercials to all your shows, unless you pay your $3.99 a month.
Yeah, Amazon, I don't like that. Boo. And, was I watching Hulu, I guess it was. It's like, okay, I'm glad T-Mobile wants to sponsor these shows, but, I mean, I don't need to see the guys from Suits have their magenta moments or whatever they frickin' call it. I got tired. I got so tired of that commercial. And it wasn't like a terrible commercial to begin with, but, I got sick of it. So I'm peeved at streaming services. It's bad enough we get commercials, but when we just get the same one over. All right.
I'll go next. I'll do my number 5. My number 5 would be having people over your house and then forcing them to leave at 9:43 because you decided that you're going to wake up at 6 a.m. and do a boot camp. Well, the rest of the people probably stay up a little later, and again, you're not even available until like 8:15 or 8:20 because your kids have a bunch of games. I'm not. This isn't pointed at anybody.
Specific.
This is just random, just in general.
I mean, it happens all the time.
It might happen all the time because it's the same person doing it every week. But
No, it's not. It's not just one person. It's one person. Brian, do you have a number 5?
I'm not going to lie, for a second there, you started off with people invite you over, and you're at my house. I was like, what did I do, man? I asked you if you wanted something to drink before we started. Like, do you need something else to drink? Can I refresh that for you before I give my 5?
You are a great host.
Yeah, and it's 10:18, and you guys are still here, so it's all good. My number 5 is going to be people who talk on the phone in a movie theater.
Oh, those people are annoying.
Yes.
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 Or even just use their phone, like bright screens when you're trying to watch a movie and the guy next to you is shining.
I will say that that's less offensive to me now, where the theater, the seats are spread out more. And you have, like, where you get to pick your seats.
Good
so
point.
There's less seats in the theater, so you're not, like, right on top of somebody.
That is true.
What was the last Marvel movie we saw this year? Earlier this year, or was it the end of last year? The last one we saw.
Was it The Marvels?
Might have been The Marvels. The guy, like Jeff, Carol, and I were there, and I was in the far left of us 3, and the people 2 from me, the guy was checking his phone and texting for the first half hour of the movie, and that screen lit up bright. And I wanted to go over and just smack it out of his hand. But instead, I just sat there and boiled and got annoyed. But he ended up hanging it up eventually, so the second half of the movie was okay.
And that's not as bad as people who actually talk on their phone. Yeah.
Pat, number 5.
I'd have to say my number 5, and Jim, this might be on your list, is when you're golfing with someone and your cart partner, rather than driving you to your golf ball, decides to instead just sit there and wait for the next day to become the next day.
Oh, yeah, I think that is, targeted at somebody who, I don't think you'll ever hear this, but you play with him and he'll get the cart, he'll drive, and then he'll drive right to his ball when you both tee off, which isn't completely bad because he's not out driving anybody. And then he hits his shot, goes and sits down, and pulls his phone out and sits there. So you have to get out, grab a couple clubs, grab your rangefinder, walk over to your ball, figure out what distance it is, choose your club, and then hit it, then walk back so he can drive to his ball. Yeah, that's so annoying.
Yeah, no, he would not be my
golf partner
ever again.
I just make him drive me to my ball. Anytime I've ever been his cart partner.
I mean, golf alone is a pet peeve of mine. So we don't want to add more pet peeves onto that.
Marlia, what's your number 5?
So mine is similar to Jeff's with streaming services, but it's more so there are certain streaming services that will have, like, obviously multiple levels of subscription, and having not the highest subscription level and finding something, picking it, going to watch it, and then it's like, oh, just kidding, you actually can't watch this. So showing you all the options as if you can watch it, but then not indicating until you go to, like, press play.
Oh, sorry, you owed $4.99 more to watch this.
Pay more and you can watch this.
I think we're looking at Amazon again.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Brian, Pat, do you have or no, Marley at number 4.
I was going to say it. Does
Yeah. It's snakes. Yep, Marley, what's your 4?
Because I didn't put these in any order. Okay. Being in line at, say, like a coffee shop or something, and being in the line, but then waiting until you're up to order to finally consider, what do I want to order? When there's still a line behind you.
Yeah. Should be on my list. I didn't think of that one.
You can, while you're waiting, figure out what you want.
That is the time to be considering what you want.
There's a menu board, and you've been standing for 20 minutes waiting to get up there. In that time, you should have made a decision.
Correct.
Oh,
my turn? Let me see. What do you have?
What's good here?
Do you guys sell coffee at this coffee house?
Oh, give me a sec.
I'll take a water.
I'm like, if that's when the worker should say, "Okay, well, I'm going to get the person behind you while you think about it."
I've done that.
Oh yeah, at the bar, yeah, you.
Oh yeah, definitely done that.
If I'm still not ready, I just say, "Oh, you can go ahead of me."
Yes,
Like a, you know.
yes. If it's time to order and I don't know it, then the guy behind me gets to move up. You're not next now. I'm still next.
All right, my number 4, I would have to say, is fast food places. Just not messing up your order necessarily, but consistently missing like one thing. So it's like
Incomplete orders.
Yeah. So like it's not to the point where like you want to go back in there and talk to them because it's like maybe $2 or $3 of something. But it's one of the things that you like kind of wanted and were like kind of looking forward to. And so you're like, okay, now I have to waste another 10 minutes or so driving around in the drive-thru because the doors are never open because it's after 10 o'clock and they have one person working. So obviously for safety reasons, you know. But yeah, that's I wish that they could just complete my order the first time so I didn't have to ask for them to do it again.
That just reminded me.
You're asking too much.
Used to have a guy we worked
Just
with,
ask
so
me
when
for my food.
we'd go out to get something for lunch, it seemed like every time we'd get back, his order would be the one that was messed up. No matter where we went, Marty had the messed up order.
Maybe he was ordering
Come on,
wrong.
Marty.
And he wasn't ordering. It wasn't like he was like making like crazy suggestions. It was just, nope, his wasn't right.
Come on, Marty, get it together.
Exactly.
My number 4 is going to be pet owners who do not clean up after their dogs or animals.
Those are really crappy people.
Oh no, wrong. I almost. There we go.
Yes,
I don't hear that.
we cannot.
I know, but I'm letting everyone.
What was it, Jeff?
Oh, it was a rim shot.
Nice.
I liked it.
Yes. Not a challenging, really hard thing to do.
Yeah.
Fairly courteous to
If you
your
agree to
neighbors.
take care of a pet,
cleaning up after them is part of that responsibility.
exactly.
So I don't think it's that difficult. They make things that you can attach right to your leash, make it very simple and easy.
Or you can carry around one of those like 15-pound metal shovels that have the little prongs on it and a shovel on the bottom called like a pooper scooper, which, you know, it's a little bit more
Yeah.
strenuous, but it's possible.
But just the little bags, clip right on your leash. Good to go.
There we go. We'll just remove it because I want your poop on my yard.
I do not.
I'll wave my.
You speak for yourself, but no, I'm just kidding.
Do you think I'd speak for you?
No.
Okay.
Just
But yes, that is my number 4.
My number 4, it's in the same realm. It is people who like litter, and more specifically, smokers who just flick their cigarette butts everywhere. I guess because they smoke and outside, so at least I'm smoking, and then they just flick their cigarette butt on the ground or out their car window.
or on the golf green.
Or on the golf green. Yeah, it's... Come on, guys. Just clean up after yourself. Put it out. Put it in your pocket. Bring it to a garbage can.
I've had somebody tell me that it's okay. It's biodegradable.
No, that filter is not.
Exactly. I'm like,
Wait, are you smoking unfiltered? Cool. You're going to die in about a year.
I'm like, go ahead and reread what that filter is made of. That's not biodegradable.
Like when we're whitewater rafting, a lot of people smoke, and they do not like it. Those people are stringent about not leaving anything behind, especially so they'll put their cigarette out and and then they'll make sure that they put it out, and any loose tobacco or any of the thing that can fall because that is biodegradable. That'll be gone in a matter of minutes. But the filter goes in pockets, gets zipped up in a bag and gets disposed of properly. But at the bar, you just look at the parking lot and it's just cigarette butts laying all over, and I don't feel like cleaning up everything. And I don't. So they just still lay in the parking lot. Jeff, what's your number 4?
My number 4 is like game shows or competition shows that have children's versions. Kids Week. Hate Kids Week.
What about like MasterChef Junior?
I hate MasterChef Junior. I don't care if how good these kids are. If they can't compete with the regular guys, I don't want them to be in their own show. Get rid of you.
Guys, get off Jeff's lawn, please.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I hate Kids Week on Jeopardy.
These fucking kids.
I mean, I want to watch Jeopardy. I don't want to get the, oh my God, this is stuff that I learned in 3rd grade, so these 5th graders can get it right.
So they should stick to go and play. Are You Smarter Than a 5th Grader?
Yes, they can go on that. That's their show. They can go to Are You
Stump
Smarter
the
Than
Schwab
Fifth-
Jr.
But isn't MasterChef Junior its own show? Because it's not.
It is.
It's,
But I hate whenever I'm done watching MasterChef and then it goes into a MasterChef Junior episode when you're streaming it. I'm like, I didn't say I wanted to watch MasterChef Junior. Get this off my screen. That's my pet peeve number 4.
So have you ever selected the do not recommend this button when that has been?
Oh, there is one?
Sometimes. Certain instances.
I'll have to find
Maybe not
that
all
button.
of them, but I feel like there's usually somewhere you can click.
Like, you just go on your Double Dare and your Nickelodeon shows.
Exactly.
Because that's really good for you.
Yeah, they weren't doing anything weird on those shows at all.
nothing wrong happening at Nickelodeon.
Ever.
Not anymore.
All right.
Hey, Dan Schneider is just misunderstood.
But anyway, I'm going on to my number 3 pet peeve. Traffic related, and I have a lot of traffic pet peeves.
I feel like that could be its own.
Yeah, it's its own. But
Riding next to Jeff is fun.
oh no. But specifically the one that has been bugging me lately is I hate having to come to a complete stop at a green light because the traffic in front of you isn't moving. Like, you drive up to a light and it's green. Okay, it was red because you can see stop traffic, but by the time I get there, they should all be moving. I'm slowing down. Okay, why aren't you moving? Now I'm stopped. And now you're moving.
Well,
I hate that.
they have to check their phones.
Yeah, they got to do something. When you're at a red light, you've got one job, to move one that turns green. That's it. That's the only thing you should be worried about when you're driving.
One job at a red light is to stop.
Okay, you're already there. You're already stopped. It's red and you're stopped. So when it turns green, you go.
To be
Not do whatever else you're doing and not pay attention.
if you go slower into the traffic before the green light, you will never have to stop.
No, I will. I've done it. I've slowed down where it's like, okay, this is as slow as I can go. I'm going less than a mile an hour. Come on. Now I got to stop.
For somebody who is as laid back as Jeff is, when he deals with this traffic stuff, his blood boils.
Oh, I hate traffic. I don't know how people drive for a living. I really don't. Because, yeah, I've never road raged where I actually took it out on anybody, but I can understand why it would happen.
We need to film. Just do 1 week of Jeff as an Uber driver.
Would he throw his customers out on the side of the road on Harrison, maybe?
We had a guy I work with who was getting a ride home from, I think, the bar.
Yeah, he was getting a lift home.
You got a lift, and this is around 3:00 in the morning. He's the Uber driver and the Uber driver's girlfriend, and he's like, "That's not too bad. That's fine." He's driving home, and they're on Harrison Avenue, like pretty big road, going out to his mom's house, and the guy gets pulled over for speeding. The cop comes up, and the guy stops, and the cop's like, "Oh, you know why I pulled you over?" And he's like, "I don't know." He goes, "Well, you're going like 55 and a 35. He's like, "Oh," he goes, "You have your license on?" He goes, "I don't have it on me." He's like,
Oh, no.
Do you have a license?" "Yeah." "Is it suspended?" No, it's good." And at this point, the girlfriend goes, "Can we switch seats?"
Like, can I get out and drive? Not like, can I switch seats with the person?
And the cop's like, "What? What?" And the guy's like, "No, nothing." So the cop's like, "Can I just get your social? I can run." I go, "Yeah." So the guy gives him his social. And the cop goes to run it. He turns around, and the guy takes off.
Like going 80 miles an hour.
80 miles per hour down there. And the guy worker's like,
Sir,
can you just let me out? So he slows down, not actually stops.
Oh, no.
dumps him on the side of the highway.
Dumps him on the side of the road and takes off again.
Yeah.
And the guy standing in the road, one cop goes by. Second cop goes by. Third cop goes by. Fourth cop picks him up because I just can't leave you standing on the side of the road right
He
here.
pulls a U-turn and it's like, what's going on? And he's like, that was my Lyft driver. And he's like, oh, okay.
So he got a ride home.
I hope he left a bad review.
So we hear the story and we're obviously skeptical about somebody making something up. And he's like, yeah, the guy texted me the next day. He's like, and he has this text message from just a random number. It's like, "Hey man, sorry about last night. I hope you got home safe." He goes, "Yeah." After a few minutes, they gave up chase. Yeah, I got rid of 6 of them.
Holy shit.
To be fair, it was after the guy had already given him his social security
Was it
number.
his real one?
What is?
So I thought he would have given him.
I have no. That's a great question.
Yeah, I
I'm not
assumed
sure.
he would give
That's
him a
good
fake
question.
number, and
Yeah,
then as soon
that's
as
a
they
good
went to
question.
run it, take off.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but yeah. So he.
Well, they
That'd be
still
the
have
smart-
his plates.
That would be the smart thing to do, but the car was his, the person that was sitting in the passenger seat's car. As was the Lyft account.
Oh.
So, like,
I'm still leaving a bad review.
yeah, he wasn't supposed to be driving then anyway.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So my number 3, I'm going to go with that one guy in your group text message and the guys you hang out with who, when you guys agree to do something and says, "I'm in," and then, "Okay, we're going to meet at this time," and then he responds 20 minutes after everybody's met. He's like, "Oh, you guys still doing that?" It's like, dude, you had 4 hours to respond. Just be on time. Just, what are you doing? Yeah, that guy. Don't be that guy.
Don't be that guy.
I'm not that guy.
I don't think I'm that guy.
I respond. I just usually can't make it.
Nobody here is that guy.
Or that
My number 3 is now going to sound like I'm picking on Jeff.
That's fine. Send it at me.
But my number 3 is the person who honks at you to move before the light has finished changing from red to green.
I don't honk. I don't honk.
Like, I see it, I'm letting my foot off the brake, and I'm starting to do it, but that person has fucking somewhere to be way faster than I need.
we are not drag racers. We're not
Like-
slamming on the accelerator the moment
I am.
it goes great. Fair. Fair.
I typically don't dawdle at lights. Occasionally I do, That's right. There ain't going to be no more. But like I don't just like miss them, or like I'm not distracted by my phone. I just like it just changed. Come on, man. Like, and that makes me purposefully drive at a snail's pace.
Oh, yeah.
I don't accelerate. I just coast through it until they get mad and go around me.
I don't honk unless you like.
Unless you're horny.
Yeah. Ooh.
Or if you have to poop.
But I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, you should be going. Why aren't you going yet? Why aren't you going yet? Then maybe I'll honk.
There's an acceptable time frame in which you're actually like honking at someone to go.
And I'm yelling at you in my car long before I'm honking.
Sure.
So if you hear me, then you've taken way too long.
Right.
Unless your windows are open and my windows are open, then you might hear me screaming at you.
Forward.
Yeah. But it's just like that. Like there's a window there where you don't have to do that. But I seemingly am in front of the person 8 out of 10 red lights that just they have somewhere to be. I'm always in their way, slowing them down.
Well, quit getting in my way.
I will try my best.
All right, my number 3, I would have to go with, I don't know how to phrase this exactly. It'd be like channel skippers or like, what is it?
Channel surfing?
Yeah, but like on the radio. So like radio, like not skimmers, but like people that cannot decide on just one thing. I have a very, like, I'm good to go with pretty much anything. I enjoy it, at least when I'm driving, more as like background noise than anything. But like, and it's not just for the car or anything, but just decide on something, stay on something.
Is this specifically for like radio stations or like
radio stations
or like
Bluetooth? If you're in charge of Bluetooth or like a speaker,
so whoever's in charge
party,
of the music,
yeah. So if you're in charge of the music, say you're in charge of the music at a party, and you're like, oh no, I'm going to skip to this song. No, I'm going to skip to this.
Just let it go, man.
Just I don't want to hear. I don't.
If you didn't want to listen to that song, then make a mix that doesn't have the songs you hate.
Right. Yeah.
Make a party playlist.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. You can skip a song or two, but like don't like, oh, I'm going to get to the song that I like. You should have started with that song to begin with, and then from there on out, you're ready to go.
Although you'll probably hate me because I listen to the radio, and if a song comes on, I'll switch the station until I find another song I like, and that usually is only 2 minutes until that song ends.
That's fair.
And then another one comes that I don't like, so I'll keep switch. But I do a lot of channel switching while I'm driving.
Yeah, it's
I do that fairly
it's more
often
just
too.
Distracting to me than anything, but it's takes away from the experience in my opinion. But some people like to experience it in a different way. So, not hating, just peeving.
All right, Marlia.
All right. What number is this? 3. Okay.
Number 3 years old.
People at a bar-like setting, as the person behind the bar, when they come up, ask what's in something, and then ask for that thing with something else. This is a very specific example, but we have pre-mixed alcoholic slushies. The number of times people say, can I get the Jose Cuervo slushie, which is basically just a frozen margarita, but can I get that with Patron instead? No. I can't unmix it. I can't unfreeze it. No. That's not going to happen. Or do you have this? No, I don't. I'm sorry. Well, why not? Gee, I don't know. I'm just pouring it. I don't order it. I just pour it. So just really that's a general statement of stupid customers.
Do you have this? No, why not? Because you're the first person to ever want it.
Yeah. Cool, I'll get right on that.
Number 2.
This is probably something that I doubt any of you can relate to. But when people mansplain to you, specifically when you ask a specific question and...
Here, I'll explain it for everybody.
Yeah, Jim, what is Mariah talking about? I don't...
Well, I'm more referring to... There are 2 specific instances that are driving related with my dad. One of them, I was asking him for directions somewhere, and I said, what do I do when I get to the bridge? His response was to then describe to me what a bridge was. And I was like, yes, I'm aware of how bridges work. I'm asking you, do I turn before or do I go, am I going over the bridge or is the turn before the bridge? That was my question. Or the time more recently that they put a roundabout in back in my hometown. And my dad told me about it.
Do you know what a roundabout is? I can tell you what it is.
See, it wasn't what is a roundabout. It was, he told me where that they put this roundabout in. And I was like, oh man, I hate roundabouts. They're so annoying. And then he began to explain to me the mechanics of how you go through a roundabout. And I was just like, I know I did not just say that I hate them because I find them stupid. I've driven through one or two before in my lifetime. Also, that roundabout happened 4 months ago, and the bridge happened maybe a year or two ago. So, like, adult.
Oh, these weren't when you were 14?
Nope, this was not like learning to drive. This was like have been driving for a while.
My number 2, and this probably is piggybacking off of Jeff's
Yes.
ad peeve from earlier. But the amount of times I will go on Instagram, and yes, I am recently crowned a Gold Star Chili VIP, whatever.
Ooh, congratulations.
Thank you. They had a Cincinnati Chili Week, and if you entered your name in, 100 or so people got selected to have free chili for the year. I won. My name was picked out of whatever hat.
No.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, how that worked exactly. I'm not mad at it. Free food's free food. It's one free item a week. But I, before that, have probably gone to Gold Star 10 times in my entire life. And I now see 10 to 15 Gold Star ads on just my Instagram feed alone every time.
Geo-tracking.
Yeah.
But I mean, in Gold Star's defense, when you post about it, because you're supposed to post about it, you have to include the whatever the Gold Star hashtag.
I don't post about it on my Instagram.
But it's
Bring it up.
Fair.
on your phone. You looked for Gold Star or interacted with Gold Star once. So you're going to get, you are interested in Gold Star. Here's a ton of ads.
There was one particular time where my brother and I were on the beach where we talked about bendy straws with no phones around or anything like that.
That's what I was just about to say.
The
That's
next
the
time
creepiest part.
But that's different because
Yes,
Sure.
that's just spying.
And legitimately, neither of our phones were there. Next time I go on Facebook, first ad I see is for bendy straws.
Yeah, that to me is I understand the algorithms on social media, but not searching for anything on your phone, just having it being in a conversation, and then specifically for me, conversations where we talk about
dildos.
No.
Get them now.
Great.
Yeah. What ads are we going to get on the phones now?
Where's the Alexa?
Sorry.
Well, you just proved my point.
I'm sorry.
No, having a conversation about and this is work related, where we were talking about an abscess on an animal, and then later that day I open up my Snapchat.
Oh God!
And it's literally
what you don't want to see,
a dermatologist or animal story where it's literally just 50 videos of different abscesses being popped
of stuff that you just dealt with personally. I don't want to actually.
I didn't actively search it out on my phone and put it out into the algorithm. I didn't take that step to do that. Yeah. But it was heard.
Yeah.
And now I deal with the consequences.
But even when you take that step and I'm in the market to buy something, so I look up something, I find it, I buy it. Now for the next 2 months, I'm going to get ads for the thing that I already have.
Yes.
And I do not need anymore. And I mean, that's kind of annoying. It's stop this ad, already have it. And
but if you bought it once, you'll probably buy it again.
Not in the next 2 months, I won't.
Fair enough.
Come back a year from now. Do it that way.
Don't let them know that. Don't let them know that.
Let's see. My number 2, I'm going to Hobie this one. It will be either immediately standing up when your plane lands
Yes.
or clapping when your plane lands.
Okay, well, clapping, at least you're like congratulating. No,
Don't-
hold
no,
on. Hang
no.
on. I'm not trying to justify it.
No.
I'm just giving the people, maybe this is why they do it. The pilot did a good job sometimes.
They're not clapping for the pilot because they can't see him.
I clap for John Cena all the time.
But, I mean, he is a former Marine.
So
Are you thanking him for his service? That's what you're doing.
I'm doing, yeah.
I'm watching you.
But yeah, there is, like, I guess, a certain percentage of the population that they feel like the superstition is I got to clap when the plane lands.
If you don't, you'll spontaneously combust or something.
Like the next time you fly, you won't land, or you'll land
Gravity's just gone.
So it'll just float away.
Yes.
floating in outer space.
Yes. Like, there's a process when the plane lands that you have to go through. So, like, feeling the wheels touch the ground doesn't immediately mean you're going to get off the plane anytime soon. So, like,
Even pulling up to the gate doesn't mean
you
you're getting off.
yeah, like, you're still, like, trapped in there for a good 10-ish minutes, if not longer, depending on various other factors. Well, Jim's ready to get out of my house.
Yeah.
We've landed this plane
Yeah.
of Hobie for the night, and Jim's ready to go. Yeah, that's my number 2.
Let's see. My number 2. This goes from a bunch of different parts of your life. It's when people get in front of you and go slow. I'm talking like you're in the grocery store and people have to turn in before you and kind of rush to get in front of you. And then they go down the aisle, not really looking at anything, but just walking slow. Or just walking down the street. You're down and 2 or 3 people are walking, going really slow, taking up the entire sidewalk, and you can't get around them. Or what even makes it even worse is when people rush out to the golf course in front of you and then are just really slow. We had a group last week. If your group's not there, people are like, oh, we're going to jump in front of you, kind of joke about it. But this group always goes last because they're so slow. And last week they jumped in front of the third group, and they were 2.5 holes behind my group. It took them 25 minutes to play the last hole. We're watching them come in going, what are they doing?
And
God, I'm glad I'm not behind them.
And it's log jammed behind them.
You know what they were doing, Jim? They were dilly-dallying.
They were dilly-dallying. Oh, it was horrendous. And the guys who were behind them were just cursing up a storm when they got done. Like, that's never happening again.
And that's kind of like, yeah, the people who you're driving down the street, you know, you see the intersection, you got green, the person turns right on red, they have to pull out in front of you.
And go slow.
And, yeah, it's like, okay.
They don't get up to speed quick enough.
You got, yeah. If I have to brake going, you know, the speed limit, and I have to slow down because you pulled out in front of me, you should not have pulled out then.
Yeah.
And, yeah, if you don't get up to speed in the time it takes, then, yeah, especially when no one's behind me, you could have waited for me to drive through and then got behind. Or, I don't know, wait till it turns green for you.
Like last week I was in the Kroger and I was shopping, and this one aisle I was actually actively looking for something. I noticed a lady behind me coming up rather fast, so I made sure I was over so she should get by. And then I grab my item and she zooms by and I kind of pull them out. She runs by and then just slams on the brakes and stops and had to grab something real quick. And so I almost ran into her because she was coming up real fast. And then she grabbed that and then she took off again and then stopped real quick, like 7 feet later.
You just didn't know she's playing guys' grocery games while you're just normal grocery shopping.
I guess Oreo cakesters were on the list.
$20,000 on the line here.
A secret ingredient.
But it was But I'm okay. I'll get out of your way because I could feel her coming up. So I got out of the way, and then she just stops. I'm like, all of a sudden, I'm like, did you really have to run up behind me just to stop right after you got past me?
Apparently,
she did. But the way I make myself feel better about all this is I just think that I guess these people have to be these places, and they're more important than I am. So I just let them go because I know they're so important, and I'm not.
So the next time you went to the grocery store, you got all of the Oreo cakesters so that they could not.
I hope she wasn't shopping for the Sour Patch Oreos because I bought all those. Jeff, you're number 2.
They're so good. Those Oreos are so good. My number 2. Yeah, I'm going to say it. The designated hitter. Hate the designated hitter. It just completely removed an entire aspect of what made baseball great. And yeah, it's a complete. Oh, I don't even have the words. I had the words earlier when I made the list, and now I don't even have the words because no.
I'll add to his pet peeve. I'll add the commissioner of baseball.
Yeah,
who's not a baseball fan.
Oh no,
and then him getting in bed with these gambling websites.
Oh yeah,
and making millions of dollars in baseball for it. But if one player is caught doing it,
banned.
Bam.
Yeah. Well,
lifetime suspension. You guys in the minors, 1 year suspension. It's like, if gambling is so bad, get out of it completely.
Well, I agree with that.
Don't make money on it then. Quit giving reasons for it. But no, they embrace gambling. Like, you can watch your shows and like they all have their what's the bet of the day, and yeah, you're going to get more of these athletes, or more of them are going to get in trouble for it, or they're going to get in trouble for fixing games, or for like what some people in some basketball did, where you have these prop bets. Like, I need these guys figure out what their prop bet is. Like, I'm supposed to get 6 assists or these rebounds, and sometimes they just like, let's screw these guys, and they purposely don't get it.
Yeah, I can't remember if it was the guy who got suspended in the NBA recently because he hit the under on so many like low prop bets.
Yeah,
a couple times in a row, and they were like, "This is a weird correlation." It's like, how
it was like so many points a half, and he'd get to 11, he wouldn't shoot anymore.
How can
when it was
you
11 and a
tell?
half?
Like, there's so many moving parts in. I mean, obviously, there's ways to know that that's happening, but like.
These are games where probably they're out of hand anyway.
Yeah.
So in the second half, it's my over-under is 11 and a half. So we're up by this much or down by this much. It doesn't matter if we win or not. And then he would always hit the under. But, okay, that's my soapbox for that. Okay, do you have your number 1, Jeff?
My number 1 is when people share photos on social media and they're flipped, and so when they're wearing something that has writing on it, it is backwards. It fucking drives me up a wall.
Or their hands like they're married, and it looks like their wedding rings on their right hand.
Yeah, well, I don't pay that close attention. I'm just when I'm reading something and I can't read it, or it's bad. I mean, part of my job is to make sure photos don't get out looking like that. So it annoys me.
So when people take selfies, it's always reversed.
Take selfies.
It's mirror image.
You know how easy it is to just flip it before you share it? It's incredibly easy, and I'm stupid when it comes to these phones, and I can do it. So just share a photo that looks like how it's supposed to look.
Nope, not going to do it.
I know. No one's doing it.
Gonna make sure my selfie is way too close to my face so that you can't see any of the lettering on it anyway.
Oh yeah, that is annoying. We have a friend of ours who only takes selfies right up next to her face, and it's like, ugh. I see pores.
But anyway, yeah, that's the every time I see it, I scream. I'm like, flip the photo.
Okay, my number one, and this one I almost got into a fight with a customer over. It's people who come up to wherever they're going for any type of service, whether it's at a bar, the grocery store, a bank teller, anywhere they're dealing with, like a customer has to deal with an employee, and the customer is talking on the phone as they walk up. And then they begin the conversation with you while they're still talking on the phone.
Yeah, that's annoying.
And it's like, come on, man, just finish up your call. Like I told this customer, I'm like, he came up, I'm ready to order. I'm like, I'll wait until you're done. No, I'll wait until you finish with that No, I'm ready to order now. Well, obviously you're not because you're still talking to somebody on the phone. No, I'm ready to order. I'm like, this is extremely rude to me. It's extremely rude to the person you're talking to on the other phone. When you're finished with that call, I will gladly take your order. And this guy wanted to take me outside and beat the fuck out of me for that. I'm like, because I'm like, I won't take your order until you're done with that call. And he got so pissed off. He never hung up the phone. He just left. And it's gotten, and this was probably 7 years ago, and it's only gotten worse.
Sure.
Like, and everybody, and it's not even just talking now. Now they're on the video, FaceTime everything, speakerphones and everything. So I can hear what everybody's saying, and it's like, when did this become acceptable? There used to be signs at banks. There used to be signs at the grocery. It's like, please put your phone away while talking to the teller, or when you're going through the line. But no, now everybody is on their phone talking when they're trying to deal with So as somebody in the service industry, can you at least just give me a little bit of your time so you can get what you want? Because God forbid you're distracted and you order food and you get the wrong thing, like you get the wrong. Then you're going to be pissed off at me anyway.
That's your fault.
Yep. So if anybody listens to this, please, when dealing with anybody in the service industry, just stay off your phone because it would help out a lot of people. Okay, that's my number one. I'm off my soapbox.
Just to go back to your gambling thing, the guy from the Pirates,
Padres, right?
Pirates.
He was currently on the Padres. He was on the Pirates when the gambling took place.
He bet more than $87,000 on the MLB games. 25 bets included Pirates games, and he lost every single parlay involving Pittsburgh that he bet on.
So he literally just gave whoever he bet with free money.
Yes.
Yep, pretty much.
And they're banning him for that.
He was not on the active roster. He was injured.
Yeah, he was on the DL on all the games that he bet on, but he was betting on a team that he's part of, and you shouldn't be betting on any baseball at all, let alone the team you're part of.
So many, like you can bet on freaking ping pong in Russia. Like you don't have to bet on the sport you're a part of.
Exactly.
Yep. Then the other, the Oakland pitcher, Michael Kelly, he bet a total of $99 on MLB games, and he was suspended for an entire season in which he was set to make $740,000.
All right.
That'll show him, hopefully.
I mean, you would think. So, sorry, I remembered seeing those numbers and that stuff earlier, and you were just talking about it. My number one is going to partially be pieces of things that some of you have said. It's people who just meander wherever they are. They have no purpose. They have no care in the world that what they're doing. Like they don't pay attention to their surroundings or what they're doing.
To how they're affecting those around them.
Like, yes, like my biggest part of that is like Costco. Like people have, and again, this goes similar back to your thing with like the lady in the cart, but like people have no concept of how that entire store should operate. Like the aisles are wide enough for 2 carts.
Yeah.
So theoretically, the traffic should flow some people should, one side should be going to the back, the other side coming to the front. It's the people who just have no concept of that and just jam everybody up, like
in the middle of the lane
of the aisles, and like they're not paying any bit of attention to like anybody else in the store. Like they don't care about. They just don't care. They just meander, and it's like, oh well, I'm out of the house, so like my day, like I don't have anything to do. Like granted, I don't typically also have anything to do, but I still don't want to be there for 4.5 hours because you can't figure out like what to do. Like just, it's just like not paying attention to your surroundings, I guess, is like the ultimate number one in that thing.
I have to say, going to Costco without a game plan of any kind is probably a wild experience in terms of like just being.
We have a basic we shop the whole store.
Sure.
Like we go like kind of weave our way through electronics, but then like we just start. We go up or down and then back up, down and back up, and we hit everything. Like, but just the people who like just zigzag all around that place. It's like people just don't care about anyone else anymore. I don't know. People suck. Sorry.
I hate people.
They're the worst part of everything.
I have a quick update on some stuff we talked about a little bit earlier. So now, just popped up on my phone. I've got the ad or the Newsbreak article that just popped up on my phone that I need to read is the most annoying golfer habit.
I thought it was going to be something to do with the other thing I said.
So it's listening to our conversation.
I'm glad it wasn't the other thing I said.
And where to buy the best dildos. Okay, Pat, what's your number one?
Oh, geez. I had it in my head, and I hadn't written anything down because, well, I frankly forgot. So I'm going to try and come up with this one on the fly. Yeah, if you would.
So my number one is when people. This happens to me a lot at work. When people will ask you a question and then not wait for you to finish answering the question, to only re-ask that question again. And it's like, oh, I'm sorry, did my answering your question interrupt your re-asking of the question? I apologize. I was, trying to answer your question, and you're just repeating exactly what.
The other one of those is when somebody comes up and you greet them. You're like, "Hey, how are you doing today?" And then, like at the bar, and they're like, "I need 2 shots of Patron."
Oh yeah.
I didn't ask if you needed a drink. I asked how you were doing.
How are you doing today? Yeah,
I'd be doing better if I had 2 shots of Patron.
Oh, cool. Then I'll get you 2 shots of Patron. See, that response is okay. I'm like, I'm okay. I'd do better if, but no, it's just people just don't listen to you, and or they expect you to say something else.
Yeah.
In my younger days, if I got like somebody like I poured a drink for somebody or they paid for it, and I said, hey, thank you, and they just like turn around and walk away, I semi impolitely would say, oh, that's cool, I'll go fuck myself, but not in a subtle or quiet tone. I have grown out of that the older I've gotten, but that was yes.
I mean, I do that at work, not to the person on the phone. This is more like a coworker thing where we'll like use our walkies to page for something and like ask a question, and you just get 0 response. It's like, okay, fuck me too. That's great, awesome. Didn't need to know that.
Yeah.
Definitely not why I. Yeah.
Same goes for like when like, hey, how are you doing? And same like they don't acknowledge it. I was like, oh, cool, I'll go fuck myself.
Fuck me too.
Awesome.
Got it. Cool.
Yep.
Cool. Yep.
Definitely have grown out of that one, but definitely something.
Probably.
Just acknowledge the pleasantries in life.
Yeah.
Or go to like whatever countries don't do that. I don't know.
Just go straight down.
Or if you're going back to mine, if you're going to ask a question, wait for the answer
Yes.
of the question.
Give the other person the
time
to answer it before, like, yeah.
And then if I give an answer and then they say, so it's this, and it's like, no. Were you listening to a single word I said? What was the point of asking me if you were just going to make assumptions? You're going to come to your own conclusions.
Well, see, let me explain it to you on a way that you should be able to understand. Oh, no, I'm going to get hit with some Prime.
Oh, no.
Pat, did you come up with one yet?
Yeah, I got one. All right. My number one is people that do not show up. They schedule something. They either, well, do not show up is one thing. Not calling and not showing up or communicating in any way, shape, or form that you are not going to be there is like, it's just, well, it goes along with a lot of the things that you guys said.
Yeah.
It's very disrespectful to the other people. And like, so say I happen to work at a bowling alley, and say you book a reservation for 16 lanes at 8 o'clock on a Wednesday night. That takes up more than half of what we have. And if you don't show up without letting us know, we don't give those away until you're supposed to be there. And that costs us quite a bit of money.
Yes, it
Yeah,
does.
it's not like you have 16 lanes worth of people waiting to...
Sometimes,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And sometimes we do. Like, sometimes we have 16 lane wait lists and whatnot. But, like, having to call all 16 of those people rather than just having to be able to put them on the lanes, you know?
I mean, to go along with that, when the people show up an hour or so after their reservation time and then get mad when it's like, well, no, you have to wait.
Yeah, you should go home and Google the definition of reservation. It's not a suggested time. We give you a specific time. These aren't suggestions.
Or we had a very Seinfeld car rental experience down up in New York.
You got John Voight's car?
No.
Cartwright? Cartwright?
They know how they took the reservation.
But not
Hold.
They took the reservation. We got there, went to go pay for it. They were like, you're going to have to wait 3 hours to get this electric car in New York and like pay this cleaning fee or whatever. And we're like, okay, first of all, we don't live here.
Gas fee, and it was like, this is an electric car. What do you mean there's a fee for the gas?
Also,
we're not using gas.
not renting an electric car in New York over the New Year. That's not happening because A,
New York City.
we don't live there. B, we have zero clue where we're going to be the whole time. And C, where the fuck are there electric charging stations in New York?
Yeah.
Like,
I have to know where to even plug it in.
yeah,
And I'm not going to be at those places.
No, and they probably don't know that information because they don't even know how to hold the freaking
Hold the
reservation.
reservation. So you take the reservation is the easy part.
You got to keep the reservation.
Is that as bad as renting a car with like the E90 gas stipulation?
Wait, are you saying like you have to get the premium gas?
You have to get ethanol 90. It's like corn.
Okay, no. Those gas stations exist.
They do exist, but
They're few and far between, but they're less.
So
few
when
and far.
you rent a car and they give you one of those,
But not tell you
and
you
not
have
tell
one.
you.
Okay, yes, that's as bad. That's as bad because if you rent a car that's different than that, and they give you that car without letting you know, that's like fraud.
How'd that turn out, Jeff?
We were driving from Cincinnati going to West Virginia to go whitewater rafting.
Oh dear.
So we're in West Virginia. We're
Yeah.
getting ready to leave West Virginia, and we were going to fill up the car. Open the gas tank. I'm like, this is the yellow shit.
Just
Where is? Look up. The closest gas station was an hour drive away. We're like, I hope we can make it.
not we're leaving this car here and renting another one. Canceling the credit card.
Well, there was There was one in the direction we're going that was an hour away. There was one that was about 40 minutes away in the opposite direction.
So you just fill it up with normal gas and just let it go.
Well, they're designed you can't put it in.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah, it's a different nozzle.
I hate that.
Yeah, and it's
different.
And the only reason I even knew what the fuck it was because the other guy I was with was the one who rented the car. I had a car rental maybe a year or so before that. That was the same thing happened to me, where they didn't tell me it was that gas, but it was. My car was in the shop after an accident, so I was driving it around, and I went to fill it up to return it, and I'm like, "What the hell is this?" But I knew where there was a gas station that had that locally. But well, yeah, we're in the middle of the mountains of West Virginia, and we're like, yeah, it's an hour away before you can fill up.
Okay, so that was what grinds my gears with Jeff's this week for our top 5.
Did Brian do his number 1? Brian and Jeff?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that's right. My bad.
You finished.
I did.
You were the end.
Giggity.
Do we have a Mad Libs, or are we just going to go into...
The Mad Libs is in the Jeep, which is at the hospital.
Yeah.
Okay.
Along with my headphones.
Oh.
We discovered this before you guys got here.
You could look one up on
Oh, then we are
Google,
pretty
maybe?
late, so I don't think we need to add much more.
Okay, do you have anything over there?
Oh, we need a bad idea of the week.
And then, bad idea of the week.
Don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick.
Yeah.
Or
Don't be in front of Jeff at a red light.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Never get in front of Jeff on traffic.
Being in front of Jeff at a red light is fine. Don't be in front of Jeff at a green light. Yeah. If you're in front of Jeff at a green light, you better be flooring it.
This is number 11?
Yeah.
We can go with that.
Then we have titles for the show.
I only have 2 that I wrote down.
I put down a few of them.
I've got Filled with Regret and A Good Shoveling Distance.
Marley, what are your 2?
I had Just Use Both Hands and Get Off Jeff's Lawn, please.
Pat, you have any?
I was going to go along with the just use both hands and what was it that you said earlier? Was this plane has left my house.
Brian?
Let's see here. I've got the Hobie Weather Report. It's not always lupus.
But it is always sunny in Philadelphia.
There is no cure for death.
That was for the...
yeah. Sorry.
That was a real spoiler.
That was a real spoiler.
Screaming Dead Nazis.
Yeah. No.
What? Oh, we did talk about Nazis, but...
Wow.
Well, yeah, I don't think we want to put Nazi in the title of our show.
Yeah, you can do like...
I mean, we are a history podcast. Nazis are a bad idea, but...
Yep. And I had Ghost NATO.
Ghost NATO is fantastic.
Okay.
I would have written that down if I had it.
I had Deadpool, more like Dead End. It was a gift, ... from myself. Did it happen in Alaska? I would watch that Netflix documentary. Doug reaction. I mean, why not? I guess I will just go fuck myself. Holes of the glorious kind.
All right, just put it in now.
And mansplaining with Ms. Marbles.
I almost put that.
I think Holes of the Glorious.
Holes of the glorious kind?
Holes of the glorious kind.
I think Holes of the Glorious kind wins.
Okay. Well, that wraps up the show, so thank you for listening, and Roger says goodbye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
From Walking Dead to Talking Heads, from comic books to TV sets, there's a history, not so bad, there's the history. It's the history bad, so bad.
listen to Hobie.